Hey guys, welcome back to this week's episode of The Pulse. We're finally all back together in one room. It's been about a month since we've all been together, but we are back. New semester, new host. Let's get this started. You're watching The Pulse.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Second episode of the semester. It's happening. How is everybody?
I'm good. It's good to be back. What an electrifying week of football.
Insane week.
Absolutely great weekend of football. Lots of not even nail biters, but good playoff football. Some blowouts, some tight ones. I will say I went 5 for 6 on my picks. Hashtag ball knower more than Duffy. That's for damn sure.
I was one away.
Ball knower, always a ball knower. But yeah, good weekend. But we also had some good stuff for FGCU. Something that actually has happened was FGCU's men's tennis team began their season, and they actually dropped their season opener 4-3 against Louisiana. And immediately after that, they lost again in Orlando 4-0 against UCF. Now, FGCU will return to action this Friday, where they head to Tulsa for a doubleheader. The young season starting off 0-2 is not ideal, but I believe the men's tennis team will pick it up.
Agreed. And moving on to swimming and diving, FGCU's swimming and diving team dominated the Eagle Winter Invitational on Saturday evening at the FGCU Aquatic Center, hosting Siena and Stonehill College. The relay group of Izzy Ackley, sorry if I butchered that, Libby Russum, Cassie Bauer, and Mia Burke opened the meet with a win in the 100-yard medley relay in 48.69 seconds. FGCU was also victorious in both the 500 freestyle relay and the 100 freestyle relay. We will see them again against FIU on January 24th.
Heard that. Birds don't usually swim, but here at FGCU, these birds do anything they goddamn want to. All right, the FGCU Eagles took flight and dove down into the water, took a W at the Aquatic Center, and they're going to continue to do so.
Yo, I used to be a swimmer.
You used to be a swimmer?
I used to be a swimmer.
That big body used to cut through the water?
All right, come on now. Yeah, I used to be on like 3 swim teams when I was in middle school.
Wow.
Emerson, please find a picture.
No.
Emerson, insert photo of Duffman on a swim team right here.
I'd say swimming's the wrong sport for you because the flow gets covered up.
Yeah,
exactly.
you gotta put a cap on it.
Back then we had the short and
you had a comb over?
Yeah.
Oh, man, you have the part too? The little part over there?
Yeah.
The little
my dad
JV swoop.
My dad, shout out to the original Duffman. He would style my hair and like push it up to here.
Oh, yeah.
I hated it. He loved it, but yeah.
He had you looking quite nice. Sounds like.
Yeah. There were days where I liked it. There were days where I didn't like it, and I loved the day that I found out about a middle part. So
hell yeah. Now, to move on to probably the topic I'm most excited about when it comes to FGCU sports, the women's basketball team, the team that we've been saying, just give it a little bit of time. A little bit of time all year long. Well, guess what? We gave it some time, and now FGCU women's basketball is continuing their hot streak. They beat Lipscomb just the other day, where Nay Staten led the way with the Eagles, season high in points from her. And they got a 63-42 win in Nashville at Allen Arena. And, of course, some players that stuck out. Serena Roll, of course, the fearless leader, the senior. Karina Gordon, who has made her name known a little bit more this year with her shooting ability. Nay Staten, as we just mentioned. And Sinai Douglas, the transfer from Michigan State, who was actually named the Atlantic Sun Conference Newcomer of the Week. So shout out for Sinai Douglas, who's absolutely been balling. And like we said, Raina has got these girls into shape. All it needed was just a little bit of time. They are hot at the perfect moment as we enter conference play.
And they're raining threes.
They're absolutely rain of threes right now.
Yeah.
All right. And that's not to leave out Jalea Pillow or Eve Alexander, who have also been very notable for the women's team this year.
And moving on, unfortunately, the men's basketball team did fall to Lipscomb in their home arena, Alico, with a final score of Lipscomb 84 to FGCU 77. In the second half alone, Lipscomb pulled out 56 points, and FGCU's J.R. Knezi led FGCU with 26 points on 12 for 17 shooting from the field.
Heard that.
So, a loss, which is unfortunate, but hopefully we'll come back.
dude, that's one of my exciting whites. I
Really?
love them. I love JR, Duax, and
Stewart?
Rory Stewart. The Brit.
Rory Stewart. Oh,
Rory
yeah.
Stewart.
Rory
The Brit.
Stewart. I love them, man.
Yeah.
Those are my 3 exciting whites. Yeah.
So let me ask you, what do you guys think that needs to happen to turn the men's team around?
I think that they there's a couple things. There's every time that somebody is missing a layup or something, they automatically, instinctively go for the dunk. Don't go for the dunk. Just get the rebound, toss it back up. There's too many times where, over these past 2 games especially, they were going for the dunk and just full on not making it, and the other team rebounds the ball, runs down the court, and shoots a 3 or gets 2. I mean, I feel like they need to. I said it at the beginning of the year, and then they started slowing down a little bit. I think over the last 2 games, they started picking back up the pace on the flashiness. I love the flashiness. I love Dunk City. Just play smart. That's all you got to do. Drive to the basket. Don't be shooting stupid shots when you're guarded and everything.
Yeah.
If they start playing even smarter than they have in the past, they'll be on the right track.
No, and I think you worded that a good way because, like you said, we do tend to be a little flashy, which it's like sometimes like, okay, but also you need to go back to playing the game. It's not all about showing off.
And Hogan, you actually attended that game, so I wanted to hear your thoughts. We talked about this earlier, but I want to hear your thoughts on what Lipscomb did great and what FGCU did not.
Yeah, I think Lipscomb did a good job with the spacing, and they did a good job with their pace, especially in the second half. And they got some momentum rolling. They had a couple good big stretches. We weren't able to stretch it out with them.
Right.
We weren't able to keep up with their pace, and we didn't win down low. We didn't out-rebound them, and we could have seen a lot more effort off the ball.
No, I'd have to agree. And I think the most obvious part of this game is that Lipscomb runs a 5-out offense. So they have basically 5 guys that can pop out to the 3 and shoot. And that showed up on the stat sheet. They shot 52% from 3 as opposed to just our 29% from 3. Not a good split there. And they stretched the floor very, very well, specifically with number 33, Charlie Williams, their center, 6'10", 225. Went out there and put up 27 points on 4-for-4 shooting from the strike. It was just, unreal, the display that Lipscomb put on in terms of stretching FGC out on the floor, like you talked about spacing. Our big men were not able to adjust to that, especially in the second half. It just seemed to get worse. We were allowing way too much to happen around the perimeter, and we got away from our inside game, like you talked about. There was no post presence. In the first half, we were doing phenomenal from the post. We actually led in the game in post points, but got dominated in the second half. It didn't matter what we were doing. So that's very disappointing, especially in a game that FGCU can easily win. But it all comes down to adjustments and matchmaking, and this one was just too much for the kind of basketball we play. FGCU, after that game, after losing, they did fall to 7-10, and they're now looking into the prime of their conference play schedule. And it's very apparent that something is going to have to change with this men's team because a team with this caliber of talent around them, specifically in the guards and wings, cannot be 7-10 midseason. That's absolutely unacceptable, especially when you have a distributor and a facilitator in Ramir Barno, who showed flashes of being a great point guard. You have such a multi-talented wing in J.R. Konechny, who's averaging close to 20 points a game. He put up 26 this game, double-double. It's his multiple times this year where he's had back-to-back games of 20 points or more. So when you have a capable scorer like that, you cannot let these games go to waste. And that specifically starts in the paint, where I believe FGCU lacks so much because once the paint doesn't work for 2 possessions, they go straight to shooting threes for the rest of the game. And that's clearly not our strong suit. FGCU needs to play a full game plan of just do exactly what you want to do all game long. Don't get away from it because this team has the talent, and that's the frustrating part.
A big portion of that is rebounds. Rebounds. If you want to continue to shoot at the 3 and consistently do that throughout the entire game when short range isn't going to be working for you, you need a big man underneath the rim at all times. You need somebody to get a rebound. That was one of the biggest problems that I witnessed at that game, over both games actually. The rebound was subpar or just straight down bad.
Yeah.
And I think our transition game gets affected by that a lot because we can't trust our bigs to go fight for boards. We can't send guys leaking up the court and get numbers games.
No, absolutely. And it's funny because when you look at the stat sheet here, the rebounding disparity is not by much. It's 1 rebound is the difference in this game.
Really?
All right. And FGCU also led in fast break points. But where it really came down to was the free throw percentage. FGCU shot 12 for 19 from the line, 63% on the game, compared to Lipscomb's 85%, 18 of 21 in the game. So if FGCU hits all their free throws, it's a tie ball game. We may be going into overtime. Some stuff changes, some stuff swings. Either way, that's a big if scenario. But, you got to make your free throws. You have to make your free throws.
Moving on to our NFL headlines for this episode, we have some good ones coming up. First, starting off with the Bears in the Packers, which I have a little I was watching this game with my dad because I was home for the weekend. Saw the Bears getting destroyed the whole game. Third quarter, I gave up on watching the game, sent them a little text saying, "R.I.P. Bears," went to bed, woke up being absolutely berated because somehow the Bears completed an 18-point comeback in the time that I chose to stop watching. So I want to ask you guys, is it going to be a Bears Super Bowl or was it just a lucky swing?
The Bears.
Bears. Go ahead, Hoagie. This is your team, buddy. You get after it.
My Super Bowl hopes were high for a while. The Trapillo injury is what brought me back down to earth. I'm just happy to have won that game. That was my Super Bowl. For sure, that was the Bears Super Bowl. But anything past this is just reps for this Bears team. We're going to get some postseason success and get some postseason reps. And next year's the Super Bowl. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, in this game, I mean, especially through the first, what would we call it, 3.5 quarters, the Packers were dominant. I mean, it was 21-3, and hopes were very, very low for the Bears, for the city of Chicago, for my main man, Hogan, who was just out trying to have a good time downtown Fort Myers. And then all of a sudden, the Bears start coming back, and here he comes flying down the highway.
Oh my gosh!
It's the library.
My story was
you
wonderful.
really?
Yes, because I was not having a good time. I was not happy at all. I get in the car at the start or halfway through the third quarter, and I busted it back down to the library. And the fellows were there. The energy was up. I heard there were a lot of Bears fans in the place.
There were.
Yeah.
And there
Many
were.
Bears fans.
But I pulled the car in, I parked it, and I sprinted as fast as I could. And the second I got there, DJ Moore's coming off a wheel route in the breadbasket, touchdown Bears. And that place went ballistic. Oh, my goodness.
Dude,
Electric factory.
The vibes were high. All I can say, I was so excited. I actually had a little bet on this game. I put in a little Bears money line bet when they were down 21-3. The hope was there. I believed. And it paid off for
You
me.
did.
Got a little win there. I was so excited. The one thing I want to say is the most impressive thing for me about this game is Caleb Williams, even though he struggled, a young quarterback, first playoff game, right? Throws 2 interceptions, comes back and leads the team to a victory. I mean, that to be able to escape that mental blockade and get through that, to bring your team to victory is incredible. It really is.
The mental toughness he must have had to come back from that is insane.
He's shown it all year. I mean,
yeah.
it's been the Barely Bears. We've won every single game by just like that. So, even
No, keep going.
the last Packers game was the closest possible game I think we could have ever played. And if you were to tell me that the next one would be even crazier, I would not have believed it. Not for a chance.
I saw some things that like people were saying that they've never felt Soldier Field rocking like that after they started coming back,
I
and
can't.
especially
Not.
when they won.
Yeah.
I mean, that place was loud, even
Yeah.
on the broadcast. I didn't think a Bears stadium could get that loud. No,
No,
offense.
and did you guys
I-
see? Sorry, are you done?
Yeah, no, that's it.
Okay. I didn't realize how much of a rivalry these two teams had until I saw the foam hats of the cheese grater. I had no idea it was that big.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know? I don't know. I don't even know if you knew this. Cardboard is banned at Soldier Field. Cheese graters are not.
That is true. That is
Why?
true. Fans will bring in actual metal cheese graters, and they get through security.
How do they?
Yep.
Why is
Uh-huh.
cardboard?
I have no idea.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
look that up.
No, awesome fact. Like, I genuinely love that every time I think about it, and it's so like it gets me fired
Yeah.
up thinking about the fact they can bring in cheese graters.
There were so many people in the stands, just block of cheese.
I don't know. Oh, I know. Caleb Williams had one hell of a game bringing them back like that, and I think he kind of threw away all that momentum. We decided to close one eye, stick the tongue out, and grate the cheese. You know what I mean? It really threw me off a little bit. But I will say, MVP of this game, without a doubt, is Colston Loveland. A tight end that I know for a fact a lot of Bears fans that I knew, not being Ryan Hogan, were very disappointed that the Bears chose to go with Loveland over Tyler Warren. But it paid off. I mean, 8 catches, 137 yards, averaging 17 a catch. Unreal. Caleb Williams could rely on him all night long. It seemed every time the Bears needed it, there was Colston Loveland to get it. So MVP of the game for me, 100%.
Would you say that the Bears have one of the best tight end duos in the league?
For sure.
Cole
No,
Kmet
yeah.
and Loveland. I mean, that's 2-star tight ends right there. I feel like even Cole Kmet, being a second string, he had amazing success his rookie and second year. He's been continuously a solid tight end. I feel like if he went to certain teams, he can 100% be a tight end one. Having that as your backup, that's just amazing.
He's a steady blocker. He has no rack ability. Nothing after the catch, and that's kind of always been his thing. But in that number 2 role, he's perfect. He's a great blocker, steady hands, and can run the routes over the middle. Not like Loveland can. Loveland runs over the middle better than any tight end in football.
would
And that's
absolutely
where
agree.
his success is going to come from.
I absolutely
Yeah.
agree. And it's funny you talk about the tight end duo because in this game, Cole Kmet had 0 catches for 0 yards.
Really?
So I think that's hilarious. But they are such a good duo.
Yeah.
The duo played great, though.
They did.
Yeah.
They did. And speaking of a duo that absolutely did not play well, we're going to go over to New England and LA, where Kamani Vidal and Omarion Hampton were held to a total 30 yards rushing on the field, no touchdowns. Omarion Hampton actually held to -1 yards in this game, and the Chargers were absolutely plowed through by New England.
Yeah, I think he had 1 rush attempt. I'm
Yeah, he
pretty
had
sure.
one rush
Yeah,
attempt, -1 yards.
Yeah, I bet the over on the 11. 11 rush attempts. Yeah, buddy sold my parlay.
Yeah, nothing went well in this game for the Chargers. Justin Herbert was being harassed all night long. And I genuinely got to a point where I felt bad. I actually felt bad for Herbert because this has been a problem all year long. And did it show itself this week.
Oh, yeah.
Herbert was just running for his life every single
They
play.
had no push up front.
No, nothing
push
at all.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing at all.
Have you seen the graphic where it's they at the beginning of games they'll have each of the players announce themselves
Yeah.
on the broadcast? 3 out of whatever offensive linemen on their team are all ranked like 40 out of 41, 39 out of 40, and like 60 out of 61 or something like that. I couldn't believe
PFF
that they
hates that line. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the worst offensive lines in the league. I talked to a couple buddies of it at library. It was abysmal. He was getting plowed almost every single drive. He had 0 time to pass throughout that entire game.
Yeah.
And with the Patriots stifling Harbaugh in a dominating fashion and winning 16-3 en route of punching their ticket to the date with the Texans, will the potential MVP May be able to figure out Houston's pass rush?
Drake May.
Drake May.
I believe that Drake May overcome the Texans defense as MVP Drake May.
You think he's going to be MVP?
That's a lot.
I could possibly see it. It's just a race of who gets eliminated first, in my
Yeah.
opinion, in the playoffs. It's either
Yeah.
him or Stafford.
Well,
I
I mean, at
agree.
this point,
I
the playoff race is really moot at this point. A
Yeah.
lot of the voting's already done. They're releasing it come Super Bowl time when
Yeah.
you have the ESPYs and stuff
I was
like
going to
that.
say it's during the ESPYs, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty much moot at this point. And I think you can it's really whatever you like better between Stafford or Drake May. I mean, a young quarterback leading a Patriots franchise this way is awesome. And then you go over to Stafford, who topped his career high in passing touchdowns, has led the Rams to the record he did. I mean, as at his age, awesome stuff.
Yeah.
So it's really whatever side of the coin you want to get on.
It's a tough year to be a voter.
It is,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's all preference
So-
this year.
Yeah.
I think that they're going to give it to Stafford because May is going
I
to have more
also do.
opportunity. I think just because of the age.
Yeah.
I think that Stafford will never compete for an MVP again, and May for sure will.
Oh, absolutely.
Well,
I'm sorry, go
no,
ahead.
you can go ahead. It's okay.
I was going to say, when it comes to the Patriots having to deal with Houston's pass rush and the defense that D'Amico Ryans and them have set up over there in Houston, I am not after watching what they did to the Chargers and Jim Harbaugh, I'm not the most confident in Drake May and that offense being able to dominate a team like they perhaps want to. I think it'll be a lot closer than this game was, just because I believe a little bit more in the offense over in Houston, which maybe I shouldn't, but I do. And so I think that May is going to have one hell of a time with Houston, and I think they're drawing up something special just for him.
I would agree.
Yeah.
So if you're Justin Herbert after this game, where do you go?
I mean, Justin Herbert has had such a rough start to his career. He's now 0-3 in the playoffs. He has been called somebody that's not a proven winner, which I would have to agree to, and I'm not going to put it all on him. But it's every time he's in a big game, he's not winning. He's not a big game winner. And maybe that's because of what's around him, but you see all these other quarterbacks who are objectively not as talented as he is pulling out these wins. And I know that a win is a team stat, but great quarterbacks make it happen no matter what. And so I'm starting to question Herbert, and how many times can we give him an excuse is my kind of thing. I watched that game, and for a little bit I'm like, we cannot keep excusing Herbert because this is an every year thing now. But then he was getting his ass kicked all day by that D-line, so then I felt bad. So I'm kind of going back and forth on it.
Yeah, I would never judge Herbert off of that game.
Right.
Based on his line play. I mean, he had no opportunities. And you can't get in any rhythm when your line's on their back.
No, that's absolutely true.
I love how on Twitter and everything they call him If Man. Because there's
So
so many parts of his team that have always been bad that he's never really had the chance to achieve the success like other quarterbacks have because they have such great teams. But I mean, you say, oh, it's the coach's problem, so then you bring in Jim. Then it's not the coach's fault anymore. It's the offensive line's fault. Then what are they going to do next year? They're going to fix up the offensive line and it's going to be something else. They're going to say it's his receivers or something.
I don't know. Once you fix up the line, it kind of falls into place.
Yeah. I mean, that's true for every NFL team. But I feel like if there is, say, a playoff run for Justin Herbert come next year and say he's 1-out again, it's just going to be another excuse from Chargers fans in my book.
I agree, and I think at the same time, you do have to take some accountability for the player that you are.
Exactly. There's so many, as Nate just said, there's been so many quarterbacks that have less talent than him that have had more success than him.
100%.
And that's, I mean, it now comes into question. I think I talked about it last episode. Is he now on, like, not the chopping block or the hot seat, but is he starting to near there?
I would say yes.
I fully feel that next season is the all that tells all, even though he's on a big contract. There are other teams with great offensive linemen, great coaching minds in this league that could use a talent like Justin Herbert to achieve the kind of success that they want to get.
I couldn't think of a hole in his game that's making them lose games.
No, I have to agree there.
What's something that he does wrong, or what's a shortcoming of Justin Herbert's that makes them lose?
I'm not sure. It's the kind of I'm missing the word. It's in the respect of that there's so many other problems with this team that the team itself could probably move on. I don't believe that he would want to move on, but I feel like the organization, seeing that obviously the NFL is a business. They're going to want to change stuff up when stuff isn't working. They're not going to want to be continuously trying the same thing over and over again and getting the same exact results. So if you go into Herbert's 7th season and you've had zero success in the playoffs, you make it every single year with him, and he just continuously keeps getting first rounded, we're going to see a kind of situation with Mike Tomlin, how we saw, which we'll get into later. It was 19 years, one Super Bowl, not that much success, but he was very consistent and he was a good coach. But the organization and himself wanted to move on.
Well, you know what I think it really is, and especially in that regard as well. And I'm not a Tomlin guy. I think that he, over the past few years, has become more mediocre than he used to be, in just my opinion. But I think for the Chargers, if Herbert's leaving, it's on his own account because he doesn't want to be there anymore. And I wouldn't blame him. And at this point, I'm sitting here thinking the only thing left to blame now is the GM for not putting talent around him because they got him some good receivers. They got him guys with talent. They got him McConkey. They got Quentin Johnson, who finally figured out how to catch the ball this year. So that's good. They've got good running backs. The glaring hole in this team is the offensive line. And if I'm Justin Herbert, I'm pissed. He's in the same situation that Joe Burrow was just in 2 years ago. And Joe Burrow still kind of faces that. It's not as bad now, but that's where Justin Herbert is. So if I'm Justin Herbert, if I'm a Chargers fan, I'm looking directly at the GM because he needs to put guys in front of Herbert that are going to keep their franchise quarterback up and not on his ass every 3 plays. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the only person left to blame, I think. So the Chargers have really got to address that issue.
I think that game looks a lot different with a healthy Omarion Hampton. I think at the start of the year, he was running very well, and he looked like a difference maker. And with him being out for that stretch and them playing with Vidal, I didn't see them getting into the same outside runs that they were when he was healthy.
No, that's absolutely true. That is true. But then you look at the other side of it, and just a few weeks ago, Vidal was running all over people. And so it's like, what changes from now? Maybe the Patriots are just better than those teams were, but it's wishy-washy for me, where it doesn't seem consistent of, oh, Hampton's out, so they're not good, or Vidal's in, so they are good. There's no consistency there. I think the glaring problem is just the O-line, personally. There's been no changes, and it's just gotten worse as the seasons went on.
Yeah, as I said, I just believe that the NFL is a business. I think we've actually almost had the exact same conversation on this show, but with Burrow and the Bengals. It's who's going to make the call first? Is it going to be Herbert that wants to leave the organization because the organization isn't giving him the tools that he needs to achieve success, or is it going to be the organization wanting to move on from him to kind of just revamp the whole organization?
Fair enough.
And moving on to the other half of the MVP conversation, the Rams survive a scare from the Panthers. So do we still believe in the Rams, and what is next for Bryce Young?
I hate the Panthers.
I know
I
you
can't
do.
stand them. I don't like Dave Canales. I don't like Bryce Young. I don't like...
Why? What is the...
I don't like any... Dave Canales was the offensive coordinator 2 years ago for the Bucs. He left to secure the Panthers head coaching job. I always think no matter what team, no matter what division, jumping from one team in your division to another, that's just me. I wouldn't personally do that. But anyway, Bryce Young showed that he's a contender, man.
100%.
He put up numbers against this MVP type team. I am a little bit scared for them though. I did not expect them to play how they did. I think it was just a very close game because the Panthers showed up and
I don't think the Rams expected it at all, and they were like, "Oh shoot, maybe we should start playing good."
Yeah, but I don't think that earlier I said that the Rams are going to fully on make it to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that whatsoever anymore. I believe that it's either going to be the Seahawks or the Bears. I don't think Rams are touching a Lombardi this year.
All right, so what I think you guys mean to call this is what football knowers know as a trap game. This is where you have a significantly better team who's playing a far worse team, and they undermine them. They look past them. They're looking on to next week where they believe they're going to go play.
Yeah.
Whoever wins the Bears-Packers game happens to be the Bears now. So I think the Rams are really looking forward to that and didn't really take into account that, oh, my God, the Panthers are good.
Yeah.
Because
we have to get through the one team to get through the other
right.
team.
And so I think the Panthers' record is genuinely so much worse than they actually are. I think the Panthers are a good football team that has some really misfortunate pieces in there, but this is a team that's ready to go within the next year or two.
Yeah.
I fully believe that. I talked about this earlier in the year on this show, and Bryce Young coming in here, getting his job back a few years back, and now here he is leading the Panthers to really what is a triumphant loss against the MVP and Matt Stafford and the Rams, only losing 34-31 in a situation like this, his first playoff game. Unreal. I am so stoked up for what they have going on in Carolina. I really, really am.
Yeah.
Big X, the plug, predicted it 3,000 years ago.
Absolutely, he did.
Dude,
The
he's
Carolina Panthers.
He's such a goat. I love Big X. But if I'm a Panthers fan, I'm not upset about this loss, to be honest.
I'm with you.
It's definitely
Partially.
heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to lose a playoff game, but it's
Yes.
like, look to the future now.
Well, but
you
I
just
think-
made it to a play. You just made it
Against the
to a
Rams.
playoff game. Who nobody thought that everybody thought you were getting blown out in this game. You showed up. You showed up and you showed out, and stuff happened, and you're eliminated this year. But like as a Bucs fan, I'm scared for next year. I do not think we're winning that division.
Yeah, you should be.
Yeah,
Guess
I'm
what?
terrified of Bryce Young.
Guess
now.
what, pal? You better get ready to call Bryce Young and the Panthers daddy for the next
Okay,
time.
no.
All right, pal. Because the Carolina Panthers are running the NFC South, that terrible division, that division that sent a losing record team into the playoffs. And guess what? Guess what, pal? Buccaneers are going to be in the same spot next season.
Oh
All right,
my
7-9,
gosh.
whatever they are, 8-9, doesn't matter.
Speaking
Bryce
of-
Young is now your daddy, son.
And a duo that I love to see on the field for the Rams is Puka Nacua and Blake Corum. I love to see them together. I think Matthew Stafford has great chemistry with both of them. And I also think that Matthew Stafford has one of the cleanest passes in the game today. I will argue that. His late touchdown pass to Colby Parkinson was electric, had me so excited, and I thoroughly enjoyed that game.
Yeah, I think it was great. Somebody that I'm surprised that isn't the duo that's being paired with Puka is Devontae. I mean, he has been injured for the last couple weeks, but even when he was healthy, he wasn't doing as much as I thought. Because like, I mean, you have Devontae Adams, star Packers wide receiver a handful of years ago. He was all right on the Raiders. We can forget about the Jets. And then now that he's on the Rams, I always figured that he was going to kind of take over that Cooper Kupp position. But Puka filled that completely, and you got Devontae at number 2 now, and people aren't even mentioning him as the duo with Puka.
Well, I mean, at this stage in his career, Devontae Adams is 33 years old, and
Yeah.
he has become a red zone receiver, a possession catch threat, and that's really what they've used him for. I mean, Stafford says, they're triple, quadruple, quintuple guarding Puka Nacua. What am I going to do? Oh, I'm going to throw it up to my multi-time All-Pro in the corner of the end zone. He's going to come down with it, and that's what he's done. And I mean, this game, he had a fine game. It was good. 5 catches for 72 yards. I mean, he's averaging 14 yards per catch. You can't ask anything else out of a 33-year-old Devontae Adams.
Yeah, I mean, relatively good team all around. Hoagie, you got some?
Yeah, I think Devontae Adams started the season off really well. I think that the injury kind of took him a while to come back from, and he didn't seem to have a little bit less burst. But I think as a number 2 guy and a guy that you want to trust, especially in the red zone, he is way up there. There's not a lot of number 2 guys like Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's really embarrassment of riches to be like, who's your number 2 receiver? Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
And that's crazy to say Devontae is a number 2 receiver, but I mean, as you're talking about, Puka's taken over that role. So that's what he is, and he's great at it. And I think being able to put Devontae Adams on a team's second best corner, perhaps their slot corner, I mean, that's a uneven matchup every single time in favor of you. Like, genuinely, Devontae Adams is a mismatch against most number 1s, and now you put him against a number 2 or a slot corner, yeah, I mean, he's a mismatch no matter where he's at on the field. So that's worked out perfectly for them.
Something that I saw during this game, it's kind of funny that they're both in the same city, both playing in the same stadium. Chargers offensive line, horrible. Rams offensive line, possibly the best one in the league. They are giving Matt Stafford so much time to pass. I mean, that man has his own studio apartment on the field at all times. He can lay on the couch and throw the ball if he wants to, man.
Yeah.
Talking about Matthew Stafford, you're talking about elite quarterback play. And if you're looking for some more of that, then look no further than the Bills and Jags, which features last year's MVP, Josh Allen, and this year's biggest surprise at the quarterback position, Trevor Lawrence.
I said the same thing for the Panthers game. I loved seeing the Jags lose because you have Liam Cohen at the head coach, the snake himself, the old Bucs offensive coordinator, following Dave Canales and preceding Josh Krizard, who is, thank God, fired. It was a pretty good game, though. I mean, we can talk about that for almost every playoff game that was over the weekend. This was honestly one of my favorite ones. I watched it the entire time at Library. Again, I was at Library the entire time on Sunday. Both teams played extraordinarily well. It was kind of just Trevor at the end where, shockingly, the Bills' defense showed up and got a pick in a time that they needed it to win this game and push the Bills into the second round.
In this moment, I think it really became apparent that Trevor Lawrence, even though he played very well in the regular season, especially high for his standards, he wasn't quite ready for playoff Josh Allen, who we all know is absolutely elite against everybody not named the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah. Because at the end of the game, he usually comes down with the win unless he's playing the Chiefs. But this time around, I was rooting. I got to say, I was rooting for the Bills. I want Josh Allen to get him one. I want him to get a ring, especially since he doesn't have to go through them. And this is going to be Josh Allen's first road playoff win, which is incredible to think about.
And the first Bills road playoff win since 1992, which was shocking. I believe, that's kind of ridiculous. And a lot of people were, for some reason, saying that because his wife wasn't there, they were going to lose the game.
Yeah, I heard
she
that.
was
I didn't
getting
get that.
ready for the Golden Globes.
No, I'm well aware. But was that like a thing? Like, has she been at every game that he's won?
She has.
Okay.
But she was presenting at the Golden Globes. That's why she wasn't there.
Mm-hmm. But I said it last week. I'm going to say it again this week. I still believe firmly that my pick is still going to be the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Bills versus Bears with the Bills on top.
Well, another interesting thing about this game was tied for the most fourth quarter lead changes in NFL history for postseason. Which, I mean, the fourth quarter was crazy. I was watching it on the plane ride home. It was back and forth the entire time.
Yeah, it was electric playoff football.
It was.
It was really good.
It was a good game. I mean, besides it was intercepted by Cole Bishop in the last, which led the Buffalo Bills to win 27-24, but it was a good game.
I loved that 10-yard Josh Allen tush push.
Ridiculous.
Oh, and
Did
then
you
they
see what they're calling
overturned
it? Yeah, they're calling it the Stampede.
Yeah.
Buffalo Stampede, man. Good. Which is kind of ironic because the Bills were one of the teams that voted for the tush push to be banned, and that was possibly the thing that just pushed them into the second round of the playoffs.
100%.
Well, that's the hilarious thing about Buffalo is everything seems to work in their favor after they vote against it.
Yeah.
And they actually have a history of this because after I'm going to bring up the Chiefs, Chiefs homer, whatever. No, after the Chiefs lost to the Patriots in the 2018 AFC Championship game, when they did not get a chance to possess the ball, correct? The Chiefs voted to move that every team would get a possession in the overtime, no matter what, which is what we have now. The Bills were one of a few teams that voted against it, right? There's that. Then you get to when the Chiefs played the Bills in the divisional and the 13-second game, Bills didn't get the ball after the Chiefs scored. They then voted to have every team get possession, all right? Then they're voting against the tush push, and now they're using it. This is what Buffalo does, and this is why they're such a joke. I like Josh Allen. Buffalo itself, absolute joke.
I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think that this is like Josh Allen is running the playoffs exactly how he wants?
Josh Allen is back.
Do you think he's back? Do you think he's making it to that AFC Championship next week? Or what do you guys think?
Hogan?
I think it's an uphill battle. I think that there's some holes in this roster that he hasn't had in previous years trying to make a push. If that defense holds up, I think that Josh Allen will play with anybody. He's Superman. In the fourth quarter, you want Josh Allen on your team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the team can do it, though.
I think this next game kind of shows if Denver is the actual number 1 seed.
100%.
I said last week that I believe that this is remnants of the Titans when they were the number 1 seed a few years back. I think that they made the number 1 seed. They're gonna play half decent, and they're not gonna win the game. And they're gonna get immediately first playoff game. You're gone.
Well, the Broncos are favored to win, no?
I don't understand why. I feel like maybe one of the main components is obviously their defense. They have an amazing defense. But I think also another component is Josh Allen has never won a road playoff game. Bills haven't won a road playoff game up until now since 1992. Mm-hmm. You're going on the road for the second straight time in this playoffs. I mean, it might be that, but I think it's mainly that defense, that Broncos defense that we've been talking about all year. It's scary. It's scary. You don't want to be a part of the Mile High Club in Denver. Just in Denver. But no.
I can absolutely tell you why the Broncos have the odds to win this game. I mean, they had an 11-game win streak this season, and they also had the most one-score wins this season. They had the most come-from-behind wins this season. Along with that, they're going to be playing at home against Josh Allen, who's on the road now, is going to be looking for his second all-time road playoff win, where Denver has a 12 straight home win streak. Okay, wow. So that is going to play into effect where Denver is getting comfy, putting their feet up on the table, just waiting for Josh Allen to come strolling through the door. That's where Denver's sitting at. They've been prepped for 2 weeks. They were probably prepping for the Bills, if we're being honest. Yeah. I don't think that they assumed that the Jags would win this game. I mean, you get into the playoffs, it's going to be Josh Allen or nobody, unless he has to play Patrick Mahomes. But my point is, I don't really see this being close. I don't care how good Denver's defense is. I don't care how clutch Bo Nix has been this season. I think the Broncos are absolutely fraudulent. I think they are this year's version of what the Chiefs were last year. They're winning too many one-score games. They're barely squeaking it out. And that doesn't work in the playoffs at all. We've seen that before. We're going to see it again. I think Josh Allen is going to go into Denver and light their asses up, to
That's
be quite
fair.
frank.
It's
Period.
fair. I mean, another team that I fully believe that completely choked, were complete frauds the entire season, Philadelphia Eagles.
God.
Yes.
Yeah. As of
this
morning,
repeat. I'm sorry, not everyone can do repeat titles.
I think we talked about it during our very first episode, that the Eagles were no longer wanting to be called the defending champs, and they no longer will be.
Yeah. They got what they wanted.
Exactly. They had the mindset of, we are not the defending champs. This is
And they went
this
into
is
that
the
game
season.
like that.
And you go into the playoffs and you play subpar football. And it was actually, I believe that this is the second year in a row where the Eagles don't win a game from the moment that Sirianni starts talking in the tunnel and yelling at people, being like, look at where we are now, look at where we are now. And then he continues on a losing streak. This is the second year. I believe the last time this happened was 2 years ago.
No, and I think something that really set the tone for when we knew they weren't going to win was when Elliott missed the extra point. Mm-hmm. I feel like, I could be totally wrong in saying this, but I feel like from there, the momentum was kind of gone.
Yeah.
In my point of view or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I think for Philly to lose to a Niners team that, quite frankly, had no business winning this game with the amount of injuries that they had, really is indicative of why they fired their offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I mean, Patullo was fired today, actually, after just one season. I think that's all because they became so predictable on the offensive side of the ball. It's Saquon up the middle, Saquon off the middle, deep ball to A.J. Brown, and punt. I mean, that's literally what he was cooking up over there in Philly, and I think that became very obvious to the 49ers, even without the likes of Fred Warner and a few other key pieces that they lost to free agency or injuries. I mean, the 49ers came limping into this game, and they're coming sprinting through a wall out of it. All right, I think the Niners are probably fired up after winning that game, especially to send Philly home, last year's champs, and deny them of a repeat. Awesome stuff. Brock Purdy leading the charge. Even Jawan Jennings getting in there on the passing game, throwing a 30-yard dime for a touchdown to Christian McCaffrey. Unreal.
I think it was a Purdy masterclass, but did you guys see that video? It was like some 10-year-old kid. His name was Sam.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Where he was like, so it was this 10-year-old kid, his name's Sam, and the news reporter walks up to him and I guess asked him, like, how do you feel after this Eagles loss, their playoff win? And he goes, I got these damn tickets for Christmas.
Aww.
And I got a loss.
And the reporter goes, oh, yeah, I assume that Cole would have been better. And he goes, yeah, it might have been because because
gosh.
Patullo is exactly like a fry cook at the diners in Philly. One half, he's cooking. The other half of the burger,
Raw.
it's raw.
Oh my
Yeah, this kid's like 10
This
years
kid
old.
said
Yep.
that?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then
Awesome interview.
I saw that he got fired earlier today. I click on the tweet. Top comment was "Merry Christmas, Sam."
Yeah, no, shout out you, Sam.
Merry Christmas,
that was
Sam.
absolutely awesome. I am just
so
so I'm so surprised that the Niners were able to pull this one
Yeah.
out. And I mean, hats off to them. But unfortunately, probably the biggest storyline of this game, George Kittle goes down, tears
Yeah,
ACL.
sadly.
He's going to miss some games going into next season.
Soul for a soul.
Isn't that what I was trying to tell you at library when you were like, "What? I didn't know that happened."
Yeah, I didn't. I just hadn't been paying attention to
Okay,
the
we
game
were
for like maybe
literally-
10 minutes, and I look up and it's George Kittle being carted off, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, I
But-
was literally trying to tell Duffy. I was like, "Oh, did you see that player that got hurt? He took the helmet to the knee or whatever."
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "I don't know what you're talking about."
Yeah, didn't see it. But I fully believe that this is a soul for a soul because you lose George Kittle, and today the Niners open up the practice window for Warner to come back.
Yeah.
That is a gigantic piece moving forward in the playoffs to gain back, especially on this relatively scary Niners defense.
No, absolutely. And taking us to the final game of the first round in the NFL playoffs, the Pittsburgh Steelers, led by Old Man Rodgers and Mike Tomlin, took on the Houston Texans, led by that tough defense. And in this game, Aaron Rodgers had absolutely no answers for Houston and what they were sending at him, taking a 30-6 beatdown.
Yeah, and that leads me to the point of, let me ask you guys, do you think it's time for Aaron Rodgers to put down the cleats?
I think he should. Do I think he will?
No.
No. I mean, it definitely swayed I think I was last night 85% sure that he was going to come back to the Steelers. Now that Tomlin is gone, I think that has dropped maybe down to like 70, 65-ish range. Maybe 67 needed to get it in. But how does a head coach come to Pittsburgh with Aaron Rodgers being your quarterback when you're expected to show continued success with this team? You have a quarterback that's maybe going to be in the league for like 1 or 2 more years.
Maybe.
What are you doing after that?
I don't think it's a bad situation. I think that you get a buffer year. You get some time to put your system in place, and you get some time to put some guys in there and know what you're looking at next year when you have a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, I could see it. But who do you think, like, I mean, do you just tank? I mean, for
No,
a
absolutely
rookie
not.
QB, who do they draft them? Because then you need a low enough pick, don't you think?
Well, tanking, I don't think is really where Pittsburgh's at. I think they're more at retaining, if you're asking me. Now, Aaron Rodgers is more than likely gone. He only signed a 1-year, $13 million contract with the Steelers. And after the way the season went with, the mediocrity from the team itself in general, I mean, they 10-7, it's really where the Steelers usually sit. They barely get in them. They lose first round. They did it again with him. And so I think if you're Aaron Rodgers, why would you ever want to come back there, especially after the way that this game went? I mean, going 17 of 33 for 146 and a pick. Absolutely ugly game from Aaron Rodgers. I mean, Mason Rudolph came in this game. He threw one pass, but regardless, he came in this game. And so I think it's really retain the talent you have on defense, retain DK Metcalf, retain Jalen Warren, keep everything in place, and go get a different quarterback. Go get a younger guy that you can build around.
Do you think that there's a chance that Carson Beck falls in the draft and Pittsburgh picks him up?
I don't think there's any reason to take Carson Beck. I mean, Carson Beck, while he's a winner, look at what he's had. It's like what we've talked about with Jalen Hurts. I mean, yeah, he's winning games. Look what he has. I mean, obviously. So I think Carson Beck is kind of similar. I mean, Carson Beck's not going to elevate you past where Aaron Rodgers has you right now.
Yeah.
You know who aced his audition for that role? Malik Willis.
I agree.
I think that he would look great in a Steelers uniform.
Yeah, that's honestly amazing pick. Like for that offense, the way that it's working, I believe that maybe like a 1 or 2 year deal that works out perfectly for Malik Willis. I always was big on him. I kind of liked him. To be honest. He didn't really show up, but I think he can. I think he could do magical things.
And he's way more dynamic than a 45-year-old Aaron Rodgers.
Absolutely.
And he looked visibly upset that entire game.
Oh,
Yeah.
Aaron?
Yeah.
Aaron was pissed.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, dude, he was on his back. Guys weren't getting open. I mean, the
Yeah.
Steelers had absolutely no offense, specifically in that third and fourth quarter. I mean, there was nothing happening at all.
Yeah.
Well, and it's similar to what you could say with Justin Herbert. Like, he's trying to do his best, but he doesn't have the tools around him.
But I mean, it's honestly right now the Texans' defense is one of the best defenses in the league.
Right.
Honestly,
So-
not even in the playoffs. You could spread that out to the league possibly. I mean, one of my favorite plays during this entire game took place on the Texans' defense. Sheldon Rankin's 33-yard fumble. I heard there's a fumble on the field, and I look up and I just see a big old
And he's
boy
running
like he's a running back, man.
Did you
I
see
love
the coaches
plays like
and
that.
everyone when he
Everybody's
came
like,
off the
go,
field?
go, go.
Yeah.
Oh,
the
man.
coolest part about that is that's probably Sheldon Rankin's first touchdown ever.
Yeah,
in his
it
life.
was
That's probably the
amazing.
first one.
Did you see? I don't remember. I'm sorry, but I don't remember the player's name. It was another guy on the Texans defense. After the game, they were interviewing him, and he stated that he had a dream that Sheldon had a scoop. And then he
sick.
was like, I woke up after that. I had no idea what happened. Now I know exactly what
That's
happened.
sick.
Yeah, confirmed his first touchdown in the NFL, and what I would assume to be probably his first ever. I don't think they were handing him the rock.
I mean,
and
that,
passing it.
that,
Yeah.
man,
You know
that
what I
boy was
mean?
running.
Oh my God. It was
Yeah.
an awesome sight. Big boy touchdowns.
The interesting part about this game is the Steelers won the turnover battle. They won the turnover battle.
Yeah.
And they got obliterated.
Yeah.
30-6.
How many picks did CJ throw?
CJ only threw one, but he lost 2 fumbles. Aaron threw a pick and lost a fumble.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those 2 fumbles by CJ were ugly, like so ugly. He was getting torn up in the pocket. I mean, he just was not holding onto the ball very well at all.
Yeah.
But Houston losing the turnover battle and still causing havoc for Pittsburgh, I think is very indicative of what D'Amico Ryans has going on over there.
Yeah. I would absolutely hate, though, if, say, this was Rodgers' last game, that his last
that would be
throw is a
awful.
pick six. That kind of
would be
sucks.
awful.
But
Yeah, it was pretty. That was rough. I felt bad because Rodgers, for the most part of this game, he was putting the ball on the money. He was throwing good balls. They weren't being caught, and guys were getting blanketed the entire game.
I saw a photo where it was a picture of DK Metcalf and AJ Brown in the gym, and they were both like this, and they were like, if you see this duo, you know for a fact, brick hands.
No, for real.
Well, and maybe it's for that reason, the way Rodgers ended the game, that he's like, you know what, screw this, I am coming back.
Yeah. I mean,
maybe.
Now you have that Texans defense going up against, correct me if I'm wrong, Drake May, MVP candidate.
May.
What do you think is going to happen there? Because, I mean, I don't know now. Because I fully was convinced on Sunday night that Patriots, they're going up against the Texans, Patriots are going to steamroll them. Now watching this game, I mean, the Steelers they're average, but I mean, that's every playoff year for them. Did not expect that from that Texans defense. That was, they lit them up.
No, I absolutely predict this Texans-Patriots game to be a low-scoring game.
Yeah.
I don't
Both
see
defenses.
I don't see it being a barn burner. There's not going to be a bunch of highlights in this game. And maybe I'm completely wrong, but after this, how they treated Pittsburgh, and with Houston's offense not being the best, you know, it's serviceable, but their defense is just so good it keeps them in any game. And so I think this is going to be a low-scoring affair, like a 13-10 kind of game, maybe even lower than that.
Yeah.
I would say the most somebody's going to score is like 20 points, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if it's gonna be, if you ask me, I think it's gonna be Houston. I don't see Houston's defense giving up 20 points in this game. I don't care how good Drake May has been. This defense is unreal.
Yeah.
Rounding it off with a playoff that has certainly been exciting and one that has featured a team that has absolutely blown the doors off of its opponents. The Curt Cignetti-led Indiana Hoosiers are set to take on the Miami Hurricanes, the 10th seed, in the national championship. Ryan Hogan, my pal, my friend. Is there a world where Miami can win this game, or are Cignetti's Hoosiers too much to handle?
They are heading for a buzzsaw. They are absolutely in the path of a steaming locomotive. They would really have to control the clock. They have a run game that can do it and a defensive front that can stand up to Cignetti's line. I think that they're going to have to control the clock to win this game.
No, absolutely. I mean, with the beating that they put on Oregon, and I mean, this was, even the final score looks closer than it actually was. I mean, the first half, what did it end? 35-7?
The first half was totally lopsided.
35-0?
Totally
something like
lopsided.
that?
Opened the game with a pick six.
Say it was 35-7 going into halftime. And I mean, Indiana certainly took some pressure off there in the second half. But I mean, Indiana has just been rolling. I mean, Mendoza threw 5 touchdowns in this game. And this is a quarterback that me and you really do not believe in that much. But Indiana's offense and their system and what Cignetti has going is just so good. It's just unbelievable.
It's the most cohesive football team I've seen in college, maybe in my life.
No, absolutely.
A very, very grown football team, very disciplined.
And I think what's beautiful about Indiana is they are proving that a team of guys that are experienced, a team of guys that really get together, still works in college sports. You know, everyone's loading up their team with, you know, they're getting transfer, all these young players. Indiana and Cignetti, I mean, they loaded up on an older team. They have a team that's more experienced, has played great ball at lower levels, and coming up to Indiana, I mean, their median age you talked about earlier is 22 and a half years old compared
Really?
to 22 and a half years old compared to their opponents in the playoffs at 20 and a half years old. So it's a 2-year difference no matter what.
didn't
And
know
they have
they were
players
that young.
older than that. I mean, they have 23, 24-year-olds on this football team.
They're playing 16U against 15U.
Literally.
It is a real
Literally.
advantage.
I love how the nickname that they have for their team, the Island of Misfits.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. I love that nickname. All I've been doing since I watched that game and watched game day right before it, all I've been doing around the dorm is cheers, and then Fernando Mendoza. I love saying it. He's
got a fun name.
I know. I watched a bit of that game. I mean, nuts how well they play together. It's just chemistry on the field, and it's perfect how well Signetti. Also, he just fully straight face whole game.
Oh, yeah. And
All times.
If there's a photo that can really put that into perspective, I would like our editor, Mr. Emerson, to find this photo. Indiana up 66-0 on Purdue in the fourth quarter, and Signetti looking absolutely unpleased right here, right now. Signetti, like his facial expressions you're talking about, hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
I really hope that this Indiana team gets the job done against UMiami, which is shocking that I'm assuming that you're also going for Indiana, Nate, as well as you. I'm assuming everyone here is going for them. Or is somebody going for UMiami?
I'm wearing green. It's for FGCU, but in this very moment, in this time period, it's for the U. It's for the U.
Really?
I'm going,
Really?
It's for my boy George. It's for Marcus. I need them to have some happiness in their life, all right? My buddy George has just been nothing but shafted by Sports Lock for years. He is a Giants fan, a Dolphins fan, and a Miami football basketball fan. He's been shafted for years, 4 years. So for George, I want Miami to win. I genuinely do.
I was concerned for him because I thought that PI at the end of the game that didn't get called.
That
I
so
thought that
should
was
have been
coming-
called.
Oh, it was. Oh my god.
Oh man,
That's PI.
Yeah.
But when that thing, I thought that was coming back, and I thought George might be in a mental pretzel.
I mean,
Yeah,
the Midwestern in me wants to go Indiana.
yeah, George. I'm sorry, man, but like we're going. I want Fernando Mendoza, man.
Yeah.
I love him.
I can't lie. I love everything that Indiana's about. I love their attitude. They play
Yeah.
with a moxie, a swagger. I mean, they play hard.
Yeah.
Those boys want to get out there and kill you. Like,
Yeah.
literally, that's what they want to do. They want to kill you, stomp you in the ground, dig your grave, pull you back up, and bury you again. All right? Indiana plays no games. But I do love Miami. Yeah, I love Malachi Tony. I love their running back, Mark Fletcher Jr. That kid runs hard. He runs fast. He has such great vision at the running back spot. And so I think Miami has the players, but like you said, they're running into a buzzsaw right now. So unless they got some tricks up their sleeves, it's going to be a rough one. But, just for the heck of it, I'm going U Miami, baby.
I also fully didn't even want Miami making it to the Natty. I really wanted Ole
Such a
Miss.
hater, bro.
No, dude, not even
Why?
fully on you Miami. It's just the teams that they're having to go up against. I was rooting for Ole Miss this entire time. I watched every Ole Miss game. I loved it. It was ever since I heard about Lane Kiffin leaving, going to LSU, like right before playoff starts. You want to have a championship team, but you have a team that's going into the playoffs and you're going to leave them just in the dust like that. That's messed up. So I wanted to see Ole Miss actually like just succeed without him. Just almost like stick the straight to him. We could blur that out.
I was gonna
but
say.
It's the ghost of Kiffin coming back for Ole Miss. That's
But-
what that is.
Oh man, dude, that PI at the end of the game. I was at the bar. I look up and I just see it happen. And I go, "That's PI. They're gonna call that back." And then the game was over.
Yeah,
I
but
couldn't believe it.
in that situation, though, do you call PI a Hail Mary, though? On that situation.
I mean, then you get put on what? College has a lot of different rules than the NFL, but I'm assuming you
it's
still get
15
put.
yards. It's 15 yards.
Oh, you get put 15 yards away, not on the one.
No, it's 15 yards from where you threw it at. It's not
Oh,
like
okay.
NFL,
Not a
so it's
spot
not a
foul.
spot foul. No.
Okay, yeah, all right, then maybe not. But like, I mean,
So
at
that
least
moves
give
them,
them
would
the
that move them up
chance.
to what? They were at the 30? Puts them at like the 15 or something like
I don't
that?
think they were all the way to the 30.
Were they
but
not? I don't know.
They
I don't
could have.
remember.
They
Yeah.
could have been, but they would have had another shot at it.
No,
Yeah, exactly. I feel like at least giving them another shot at least gives them something, man. Like, I mean,
No, it's absolutely fair, but I was okay with the no call considering it's Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Guys are pushing, shoving,
Yeah,
grabbing.
After that targeting, they definitely owed him one.
No, they did, and I believe that was kind of a makeup call where Miami was getting shafted a lot with calls in that game. I would have to say. I mean, there was face masks missed, there was targeting calls. I mean, there was a lot of stuff missed, and I think that was a little bit of a makeup. And I was happy to see it not called because I wanted
Yeah.
Miami to get the win.
Yeah.
I also had money on Miami, but that's neither here nor there. All right, go Canes, baby. We got some Canes in here. You know what I'm saying?
so, oh yeah, you're leaning you Miami or?
I like an underdog.
Okay.
I do. I love the story.
So we got 2 Miami, 2 Indiana.
I mean,
We're
you're
gonna
the
have to
10th seed going into the college football playoff. This is not. We haven't had a 10th seed
No.
roll in here
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
do what they've done. I mean, they took down Ohio State, who
Oh,
looked
I
invincible
loved
at
that.
one
Thank
point.
God.
I loved watching
Thank
that on
God.
New Year's. I loved
Yeah.
it. I couldn't believe it. My dad was like, turn on the TV, throw on the Ohio State game. I was like, okay, I didn't even realize that was happening today. I just completely forgot. Throw it on. Score is, what is it called? Ohio State's losing to Miami. I was like, no way,
I hate
man.
Ohio State. I will not talk about them.
This is the first year, though, that the 10 seeds even had a chance.
Exactly.
This result almost validates the expanded playoff format.
No, I absolutely agree it does. But I think it has to be a team that's as high caliber as this. Because, I mean, you look what happened to JMU, what happened to Tulane. I mean, they got put to them. So, I mean, I love the automatic bid for the smaller conference. It's great. Get them in there. Get those guys that experience. But if you're going to have a 10 seed that's going, it's got to be at Miami. It's got to be a higher level football team.
Yeah.
You know?
But I think it's going to be a great game either
Oh,
way.
100%.
I'm
I'm
100%
looking forward
watching
to
it.
it.
I'm not a college guy. I'm definitely watching.
Let's go to Lib.
I'm not even
Yeah.
sure
Put
it's
that
going to
in.
be a great game. I'm not sure.
Really?
If it's any indication on what Indiana is capable of, this game is going to be an absolute blowout. If we're
100. Yes.
Yeah. It's going to be an absolute blowout. Miami probably will get massacred.
That's
Either-
the script. If Miami wins this game, it's because they flipped the script. There's
Absolutely.
no way that they go in there and play Indiana's game and have any sort of chance to
Absolutely.
succeed.
Yeah.
Sebastian the Gibbous, or what is he, a Gibbous? What is that called?
Why
is
are
it?
you trying to say?
No, what is Miami's bird? Miami
ibis.
Oh,
ibis.
It's an
Ibis.
ibis.
My
Ibis.
bad. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The streets, because it's in Miami, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The streets of Miami may be running with the blood of Sebastian the Ibis. Not gonna lie to
Gosh.
you. Not gonna lie to you.
Do you know why the ibis is the Miami mascot?
No.
Now this is what I like to hear. Come
This
on,
is a
Hogan.
good one. It's because it's the
Okay.
last bird to fly away when the hurricane's coming.
Oh, is that a real?
It's true. It is. Look it up.
Nowhere.
I
Ball,
believe you. I don't even
nowhere.
need to
Nowhere.
look.
That's
it up.
pretty sick. That's
Ball nowhere.
That's sick. I love, like, I mean, it's a little detail, but I love how when he goes like this on his gloves, it's got the
Yeah.
Miami logo. I love
That's
that.
sick.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So I mean, at the end of the day, all right, I'm going Miami. I know you're going
going
Indiana.
Indiana.
You love an underdog story, and I ride with you there.
Let's go.
Let's go, baby.
I-
You're
I-
going Indiana.
In the Midwest.
Loser.
Okay.
I think either way, it's going to be a great game. Even if it is a blowout, I'll be at Live and I get to watch all the Miami fans cry. So.
Exactly.
We got some games in here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's an action-packed episode full of a lot of playoff content, whether it be the NFL or college football, and we are always excited to talk about it. So thank you for joining us, because today is a great day to have a pulse, because this is where sports come alive, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, this was episode 15. Number 15. This is 15 weeks and strong, baby. We're going to continue every single week, bringing the energy, bringing the heat, bringing the news straight to you. This was The Pulse.